Today on the Commanders Report, I reveal my final 2025 Washington Commanders record prediction. This is how I believe the Commanders season will go here in 2025. Of course, stick around to the end to see my final record projection for the Burgundy and Gold. And before we get into the video today, man, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you want Washington to win the NFC East. We all know that there hasn't been a repeat champion in this division for over 20 years at this point. We can't let the Eagles repeat and break that chain, man. We got to get in there, click that thumbs up icon if you want to win the NFC East division here in 2025. And make sure you guys stick around to the end of today's video to see if I project the Commanders to win the division this year. So we'll start here with week 1 versus the New York Giants. All right, I'm taking them to win that football game. All right, we actually have a full in-depth preview of this football game on our channel right now. If you guys want to check that out, I go into everything from the coaching breakdown and the scheme breakdown to injuries that you need to be watching out for, to a Russell Wilson scouting report, keys to victory, and my official score prediction. I do pick the Washington Commanders to win that football game, so make sure you guys check out our full in-depth preview to get yourselves ready for Sunday. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Who do you got in week 1 here in the season opener? Type WAS if you think the Commanders, as heavy favorites, beat the New York Football Giants, or if you think the Giants come into Landover and upset the Commanders here in week 1, type NYG down there in the comments. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So in just a second here, YouTube is going to throw you an ad break. When that happens, take advantage of that time by letting me know who you think wins here in week 1. But then you got short week on the road versus a very talented Green Bay Packers team. I think that game is very much a toss-up. I think Jaden Daniels has shown us, especially in those primetime games, that he can be a really special player, especially in the clutch. So if it's close, I think the Commanders have a shot. But plain and simply, man, like the Green Bay Packers, super talented team, really well coached. You got Micah Parsons in there now, really good pass rush. They got some really explosive weapons in their wide receiver room now. They got a really good run game. They're just a really complete football team, man. So unless Jordan Love throws multiple picks, which is possible against the Washington Commanders defense, I'm going to go with Green Bay to eke out a close one there in Titletown. But then in week 3, I'm going to have the Commanders beat the Las Vegas Raiders. That defense is absolutely terrible. Would not surprise me if the Commanders score 40 or more points in that football game at home. Then in week 4, traveling to Atlanta. I don't think the Falcons are going to be kind of the breakout team that some people are projecting them to be. I don't think their defense is all that great. I think Michael Penix Jr. showed some inaccuracies last year, and he doesn't provide you anything out of structure. I just don't think that team is going to be all that great this year. So even on the road, I have the Commanders beating them. But then in week 5, I have them taking the second loss of the year to the Los Angeles Chargers. A really physical football team with really good play in the trenches. I know they lost Rashawn Slater, their starting left tackle, but I just think that team and their mentality, they just beat you up. Plus, you're on the road there. I think Justin Herbert's a hell of a quarterback, a top 7 quarterback in the league. I think that the Chargers, defend their home turf there with a win. But then in week 6, I'm going to have the Washington Commanders beat Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the Bears on Monday Night Football, getting back in the win column there. I just don't think Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are going to be quite there yet. I think that they're probably still a year away from really being on the level of, say, a Washington Commanders. I know last year they almost upset Washington at home, and the Commanders needed to have a Hail Mary, successful Hail Mary just to beat them. But this year, I continue to have belief in the Washington Commanders that they're going to come away with that dub. Then week 7 on the road in Dallas. After before my previous projections here, I've had the Dallas Cowboys winning this football game. But now with Micah Parsons out of town, I mean, that's just too big of a talent leaving. Kenny Clark is not a big enough talent to replace him. I think that the Commanders are going to win that game on the road in week 7. So that is pretty easy one right there. Then we get to week 8. where I've got the Commanders losing to the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. That's another toss-up game to me, though, guys. Like, the Commanders, I believe, can absolutely go toe-to-toe with any team in the National Football League on any given week, and that includes the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes on the road at Arrowhead Stadium. But that's a tough place to play. That's a team that has been in a lot of close games and have won, especially in that building. So if I have to project it right now, I have to give it to Kansas City. And then in Week 9, second straight loss in a row to the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday Night Football. The Commanders are going to be coming off a short week going up against the Seattle team that's coming off a bye. So they have extra time to prepare for the Washington Commanders. I think that that's going to be one of the more disappointing losses of the season. But then, after that, things I think really turn up. In Week 10, I think they beat a really good Detroit Lions team at home. They were able to beat that team on the road in the playoffs last year. Even though this time they're going to have Hutchinson, they're going to be trying to get that revenge for taking them out of the playoffs last year. I do have the Commanders winning that matchup in a close one in Week 10. And then you get to Week 11, where I have the Madrid game there. I'm going to have them win. That's a game that is losable. Tua Tagovailoa in a warm weather climate. We all know he can play his best football in that type of climate there. We'll see if Miami is still in the mix at that point during the NFL season. But I think the Commanders have the better team. I will project them to win. So at the bye, I am projecting that the Commanders are sitting with a 7-4 record, very respectable, heading down the stretch. And coming up here on the Commanders Report, I'm going to be getting into my post-bye record prediction, the rest of the games down the stretch. How do I think the Commanders will do? I'm going to answer that question here in just a second. But first, we have this awesome Commanders t-shirt that is on sale right now when you use our link, chatsports.com/WAS Week 1. It's right down there in the comments and description of today's show. This t-shirt is $15 off right now. Get it before Week 1. Get it before Week 2. Whatever the case may be there. Go to chatsports.com/WAS Week 1 to take advantage of our Week 1 sale item here when you use our link, chatsports.com/WAS Week 1. Again, that link is down there in the comments and description of today's show. When you click that link and you make a purchase, part of the proceeds go back to us here at the Commanders Report. So if you guys want to get this awesome Commanders t-shirt in your closet today, go chatsports.com/WAS Week 1. Click that link, make a purchase, and help out the show. Then we get into my mistake here. This is actually Week 13, I believe, after the bye versus the Denver Broncos. I think the Broncos are a really good team. They got a really good defense, really good offensive line, but I'm going to go with the talent of Jaden Daniels over Bo Nix there at home, coming off of a bye. I believe in this coaching staff. I believe in Jaden Daniels to get this win here versus the Broncos. Then in Week 14 on the road in Minnesota, I'm going to have the Commanders win that game as well. Not an easy place to play. US Bank Stadium can get very, very loud. J.J. McCarthy is going to have a lot of reps under his belt at that point in the year. If he's playing well, that's a very losable football game for the Washington Commanders. But I do think that J.J. will have his rookie lumps this year. I believe in Jaden Daniels' ability to pick apart a Brian Flores defense, and I think they come away with the victory there in Week 14. In Week 15, I'm going to have the Commanders get the sweep over the New York Football Giants. I think at that point in the year, it'll be Jackson Dart in there. I think that he's going to have some of those rookie types of lumps as well. Not sure if he's ready to take that Giants roster to a win over the Commanders. I'm going to take the Burgundy and Gold to win there in Week 15. And then yet another win here in Week 16 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. You're at home in that football game. I'm kind of thinking that Saquon Barkley might be banged up by that point in the season. So getting the Eagles at the end of the year, I think, is a really good thing for the Washington Commanders here. It's obviously a marquee matchup for this team. You gotta, if you want to win the division, you got to beat the team that's at the top. The Eagles are currently that team. I think this is the time that they get their victory. Then I think they do get the season sweep over the Dallas Cowboys here. You are going 4 straight divisional matchups to finish out your season, but unfortunately, I'm not going to go with the clean sweep in that Final Four stretch there. I will have them lose the season finale versus the Philadelphia Eagles. If that's for the division, I think that the Eagles probably end up grabbing it, but you know what? I'm not counting out the Commanders here. I'm going to have the Commanders finish with a 12-5 record, and I believe that will be enough to win the division. Part of the reason why I have the Commanders losing to Philly in the season finale is because I think they may already have the division locked up heading into that football game. So for me, guys, my prediction is the Washington Commanders will win the NFC East over the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. I think after a season where he touched the football more than any other skill player in the league, Saquon Barkley's body is not going to be able to hold up another full season. And I think that the Commanders are going to be able to get the most wins in this division this year, crowning themselves NFC East champions. Now, in terms of the range that I could realistically see this season going, I think, I could see a wide range of outcomes here, all right? I could see a scenario here where, the defense underperforms, the offensive line isn't very good, the run game, underperforms with B-Rob out of this room, and, it's a tough schedule, and you win 9 games. I think that's the absolute pit of the earth floor for this football team, where you're still in the playoff hunt. I think that's the very worst case scenario for this team. But then again, I think the ceiling is 14 wins. That would probably get you the number 1 seed in the NFC if you're able to get that here, guys. And, I think that this team is more than capable of it. You got a great quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who I'm going to pick to win league MVP this year. You got an offensive line with a lot of really promising stuff on there. When Sam Cosmi gets back, this is a really complete unit, in my opinion. You got a defense that is much improved with a new and improved cornerback room. I'm a big believer in this Washington Commanders team, guys. I'm picking them to win the NFC East and to get 12 wins once again here in 2025. So it's your turn. Let me know down there in the comment section. What will be the Commanders' record this season? They won 12 games last year, but it's a tougher schedule this year. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. I'm going 12-5. Let me know your record prediction down there in the comment section. And that'll be it for today's edition of the Commanders Report by Chat Sports. I'm super excited for the start of this season, guys. If you're with me on that, you want free, informative, in-depth Commanders coverage on this channel every single day, make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, hail to the Commanders.